know, something has to be said for us fish tank people. We don't build things to be moved. This is one of those square peg round hole moments. Four foot in the air, wrestling with a fish tank rack. Whilst you've got other active fish tanks going. Nobody said it was supposed to be easy. Made it! G'day guys, welcome back to Bags of Fish. Mama said there'd be days like these. Wasn't all that long ago that I had something occur in the fish room and I managed to film it. You know, it's one of those moments where you just want to kick the cat, so to speak. Anyway, it happened and I got to get past it and keep moving on because today was another milestone. I have got all my fish from the old room now in this room. It's going to take a lot of shuffling to get them where I want them to be. I need to build some more racks and install some more fish tanks. But without going into too much detail, I'll firstly show you the old room, then what happened today, and then give you the updates on what's happened in this room. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, so as we step from the new room into the old room, there's not too much left in here. There's empty tanks and there is a terrarium here on the right hand side. Yeah, it's just a bloody mess, that's all I can tell you. There is items strewn everywhere, empty tanks, empty sumps, but the fish are all out of here, which is great. I'll just squeeze through this little gap. Sorry for the camera movement there, folks. The last fish that were to move were a pair of Betta and Tudor that were up here. I moved them just now before grabbing the camera to show you guys around. All the tanks, the guppy tanks out from down the bottom. I'm kicking a bucket as we speak. Thankfully not the real term for that. There is rocks and mayhem tanks. Cracked that tank. Fantastic. Heaps of dragonstone down here. All my live foods. I had to get it out of here, guys, because I'm taking off to New Zealand for a week and I needed to make sure that the livestock was out so I didn't have to run a heater in here whilst I've got the other room going as well. So all I have left is these 3 2-foot tanks which are plumbed into a sump system down the bottom that need to be moved, but what's holding me up is I'm going to have to drain them down to a point down to here because as you can see they're plumbed and not directly plumbed but loosely plumbed for an overflow at that point, both of those tanks, before I can move them. It will be tomorrow's job. So folks, this is exactly why you have a drain in your floor. Whole front pane on this recently filled glass tank. Crack from corner to front, running down the front of my tank. What a son of a gun. Glad I hadn't put fish in it yet. Alright guys, so if you're still with me, thank you again for watching all this way. I really appreciate it. Still a mess in the room. This will be soon to be collected and picked up. Now that I've got most of the tanks out of the old room, this is actually in my way for when I build the racks on this end wall. So it has to go and it will be done very shortly. The 2-foot tank on the ground, as you can see in the picture there, that will be approximately either 8 or 6, depending on the heights that I can work in place. It'll be 8 2-foot tanks there, where that will either be my Neo Caridina rack or it will turn into an egg scattering breeding project. Yet to determine that, but that's what's happening there. More tanks, still haven't sealed the other tank. That is just par for the course. Aisle 2, everything's doing really well in aisle 2, guys. The fish is doing very well. They're very healthy. The only issue that I've had is that one cracked tank of which you saw before. These 18-inch tanks here are in a holding position and awaiting that new rack, which will be on the wall, which is behind me. Spinning around, the new beast in the room, which is covered in tools already, as any bench happens to be, my stainless steel sink. So this is an ex-laboratory sink I was very fortunate to pick up. It's extremely deep. Couldn't tell you how deep it is. It's about 90 centimetres by about 60 centimetres, 90 centimetres wide by about 60 centimetres deep. It has filtered water and town water ability, and very, very happy with it. These things are not cheap, and I managed to pick this up for 150 Australian dollars. So it's made very, very well. Still got my my magnifying light for picking out eggs, and up above is the Scatus pegboard and a shelf that I've installed. This is going to be because, well, the Scatus is because I bought myself a 3D printer, folks. It has been non-stop going since we picked it up. It's for those that care, it's a Bamboo H2S. Yes, I know there's far better ones out there on the market, but it'll suit my needs well and truly. If you can think of anything that I might need, as you can see up above, I've got some of Lowell's Fish Labs breeding box fry trays. They're the old style. I will be hopefully picking up the allowance to print off some of his new stuff. If you can think of anything that I might be able to utilise in my breeding facility, please let me know down below. And if you've got the STL files, I'm happy to give them a shot. The new rack in the room that you wouldn't have seen from the last video is this one here. Now, it was installed twice. The first time I shortened the uprights, as in reduced the width here, as you can see, without making it blurry. That one versus this one. It was installed the first time and I had my measurements wrong, so I had to pull it all down and put it back in again. But I've had a win, and now the tanks are in position. So in aisle 1 on the right hand bank, you can see there's 4-foot tanks up the top. I intend to run 2 4-foot tanks here, 2 4-foot tanks there, and whatever happens on the bottom shelf. The 76 centimetre tanks, you can see there's 6 of down on this side. They all house some wild betters, and there's a pair of Unimaculata Wahau. There's my Macrostoma pairs. There's some Patotti pairs in here. I'm not going to dwell on them, folks, because I haven't got lights to show you the contents of the tanks. Aisle 1 left-hand bank now has lighting up above the tanks. So what I've done is utilised those LED bars, which I would have shown you in a previous video. The only thing I did was I stuffed up when I purchased them. These ones here on the left are 6500 Kelvin. These ones down past this division are 4000 Kelvin. I didn't notice when I purchased them, folks. They were put in the same bloody hole on the shelf, and I've picked them up and didn't realise. Thankfully, I do have 2 to replace those already, and that'll happen in the not too distant future. I jerry-rigged or made my own light fixture. So that's some 90 by 45 timber up the top with an aluminium tube running between the two. It's enough to hold up the lights with some zip ties. I will in time 3D print something to make that a better setup, and I also want to put myself a bit of a light shield or a reflector on the front side of the light, so that when I'm filming or doing anything on this side of the room, I don't have that reflection of the light being so impactful. So pretty much, guys, apart from all the temporary holding positions for these tanks, that's where I'm at. There's only one other addition, which I just thought of, is my drainage system. So the drainage, as I get down on my old knees, all comes to this point. I ended up deciding that I was going to put a Perspex cup with mesh in the bottom of it. And as I've said before, it's only there to catch any fish that just happen to go down if I'm doing an aggressive water change with a tube or a siphon hose, and I happen to actually just scoop up a fry or anything like that, I'll be able to retrieve it. But all the overflows run straight down into that 90mm pipe and then out through that portion on the floor. I couldn't close it up or connect it completely because, as it happened to be, when that fish tank cracked this morning, the water ran straight down that hole. It was a godsend. Very, very happy with the fact that I've decided to include a floor drain. While I'm down here on my knees, let's have a look at the hillstreams just quickly. This is the hillstream tank that I put together after I've moved them. The fry are doing quite well. I've probably made a mistake by putting the Neo Caridina shrimp that were in with the fish into the tank. I am still undecided as to whether Neos actually eat hillstream loach eggs. If you know that that's to be a case, please let me know down below and I'll have to start doing some catching. I'm more concerned that hillstream fry actually eat hillstream eggs. But happy for any information on that. If anybody knows, let me know. Hey guys, I know it's been a bit of a long video, but if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The old room, the new room, there's a lot going on. It's been such a massive amount of work. It's hard to detail. The 3 weeks since I put up a video last have been non-stop for me, as well as the Aquarium Society of Victoria stuff. Getting prepared for Corey coming in October. It's going to be massive. If you've got any questions about this room, the old room, or anything that I'm doing, please comment down below. The 3D printing stuff, I'd love to know some of the files that you've been printing off. That'd be great. B for Brett, I still haven't forgotten you, mate. There will be a video, probably the next one, where I'll put out a shorter video based on the side filter, just to give you an explanation of how that works. Thanks for watching. Hope your fish are healthy. Go to your local fish clubs. See you on the next one.